Let's talk about that scandal key too, because you're saying that there was no scandal in the Biden-Harris administration. Obviously, after President Biden's debate performance in June, there have been a lot of questions about his mental acuity. People were very upset about the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. There's also been legal challenges with Hunter Biden, his son. So if those aren't scandals, what does qualify for a scandal? When was the last time a White House had a scandal that you checked off the box, yes, for your keys?
Trump clearly had multiple scandals with bipartisan recognition of wrongdoing. He was criticized by members of his own party like Mitt Romney, Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney, all conservatives. So, but again, you've got to stick with how the key is defined. It's got to be corruption directly implicating the president. Republicans tried for 4 years to pin a scandal on Biden and have come up empty. Their so-called smoking gun witness, Mr. Smirnoff, was arrested by the FBI for lying about Biden and spreading Russian propaganda. And the definition of the keys excludes specifically anything involving the president's family, the son, Hunter Biden, or under Jimmy Carter, his reprobate brother, Billy Carter. None of that counts. So you've got to stick to how the keys are defined. And we saw Trump in the debate repeating the lie about, Biden accepting bribes in Ukraine. There is no evidence of scandal and certainly not a hint of any bipartisan recognition of scandal.
I feel really lucky. I've had the opportunity to speak with you a few times this summer, leading up to the election, and we spoke after the debate, and you said Democrats' best chance of winning was if President Biden stayed in the race, he didn't drop out. Obviously, as things panned out in the past 2 months, President Biden did drop out. Vice President Harris did become the nominee. Do you think that after dealing with your keys paired with watching the debate last night, do you think Democrats made the right call with Biden dropping out and Harris becoming the nominee?
Look, I was very critical of the Democrats for 2 reasons. One, I thought it was disaster from a public relations point of view to openly trash your sitting president right out there in public. We've never seen anything like that before. I was also very critical because I thought Democrats were not only going to push out Biden, but have a big party brawl, which would cost them 2 keys, incumbency and party contest. No White House party since 1900 has ever been reelected when they lost both of those keys. But I did say if Biden would drop out, it'd be very important to preserve the contest key. I'm not saying the Democrats listened to me, maybe they did, but they finally grew a spine and a brain and united behind Harris. That preserved the critical contest key. That means, and the keys took all this into account. They only lost 1 key, not fatal, by Biden withdrawing. Plus, it turns out Harris may have had a positive effect on 2 other keys. The third party key. She may well have contributed to the fizzling of the RFK Jr. campaign, since voters no longer had to choose between 2 old white guys. I hate to say that, being an old white guy myself, but it's true. Plus, I think she had a positive effect on the social unrest key, on dampening protest, since Biden, the target, was no longer front and center. So the keys totally took into account the transition. They followed my advice about not losing the contest key. What would have happened if Biden stayed in? Who knows? That's pure speculation, and I don't speculate